Hello and welcome to the O and M Late Show. Let's start with our apologies for not starting and keeping you glued to your TV sets and not ready for you. As they say...
I'll be all right. Well, let us assure, I guess, that we are safe and sound here.
Yes.
But we had some technical hitch earlier on in the day, and that has made coming to you at 11 on the dot a little bit difficult. But we're glad to be on your screens right now. My name is Mahmoud Akuga. Tonight, we're going to be talking with a Niger Delta activist, Alhaji Mujahid Dokubo Asari. And we're going to be taking on...
outspoken.
Yes.
No nonsense. And so many other... he's already here with us in the studio. Asari Dokubo is already here with us in the studio. And I'm sure our cameras are showing Asari as he's getting ready for the fireworks in a few more minutes.
Yes. And then not forgetting also that back in the studios with us today is Nollywood legend Francis Duru to talk more a little bit about politics and then about Nollywood.
Yes, and I'm sure you also saw Francis and Asari getting to know each other.
Yes, having a little bit chit-chat.
Having a little chit-chat. Well, today we won't be talking much because we already lost like 10 minutes.
Yes.
So we'll take a break, and when we return, Asari will be joining us right here.
Don't go away.
Glad to know you're back with us on the O and M Late Show. Tonight, like we've said, we have the one and only Asari Dokubo joining us.
Alhaji.
Alhaji Asari Dokubo. Alhaji, you're welcome to our show.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Alhaji, sit. Maybe what we should... Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Oh, okay.
You know, I followed your story, and you never cease to amaze me. And I'm sure you amaze a lot of Nigerians. They want to know who the real Asari Dokubo is. Because when you sat down, waiting to get into the studio, I was like, is this Asari Dokubo that I'm sitting with and talking with? Who are you?
I think this question would have been put to Mahmoudi. He has known me for a very long time. But I was born on the first day of June 1964 to Honorable Justice Melford Goodhead Sr. I was actually born Melford Dokubo Goodhead Jr. and to a school teacher who died in 1972, Mrs. Bekinware Dokubo Goodhead, ni Idonbeovo. I attended Kingamakri Memorial School, Baptist School. I attended so many primary schools because I was very rascal. So I finished my primary education at Tanchi School, Port Harcourt. I went to Baptist High School, Port Harcourt. In 1983, I went to remedy my WAEC because I couldn't get a credit in English, which was required for me to gain admission to read law in the university. So I got my English at Akpo Grammar School. Then I went up to University of Calabar in 1985. I had academic issues. I left University of Calabar. I came to River State University of Science and Technology, and I started all over at River State University of Science and Technology, and I also had academic issues. But at Calabar on the 17th of September 1988, I converted to Islam and became Mujahid Abubakri Dokubo Asari. And I went to study the Quran in Gamboru Ingala under Sheikh Usman Gamboru. I met a lot of sheikhs, Sheikh Al-Miskin, Sheikh Ibrahim Saleh, and a lot, Sheikh Ahmed Ibn Fati, and so on. So I know a lot. I know a lot about Borno State. I also met Yusuf Mohammed at the Indimi Mosque, where he was a teacher at the madrasa, and Sheikh Jafar used to come there to give the tafsir during Ramadan.
Wow.
So
Quite a journey.
Yes. So, but here you are today. A lot of people, when they see you, they see the Niger Delta because you've come to symbolize the struggle for the Niger Delta people. Tell me your views about what is happening in Nigeria today. For instance, elections have just been moved forward. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. Where do you stand on that?
I had traversed and networked. Hardly catch 2-3 hours of sleep a day for the past 2 months. I've been traveling, and I know what we had achieved, and I was prepared for the election. But something is wrong somewhere. And when people talk, I see the hypocrisy in them. 68 million people are registered. INEC had been able, at this moment, to distribute above 42 million PVCs. 26 people do not have a PVC. And people who call themselves Democrats want to say that those people should be denied their right to vote and be voted for, which is their inalienable right, is their constitutional right, and nobody can take it away from them. If INEC cannot provide PVCs, INEC should go back to the temporary voters card and let everybody vote as we voted in 2011. It is not the fault of the electorate that INEC is not able to meet our target. INEC is not able to fulfill our duties to the electorate. And then there is this PVC testing machine, which is unknown to the laws of Nigeria. The National Assembly rejected e-voting. So if the National Assembly rejected the e-voting, INEC cannot be a law to itself. Whatever that has to do with e-voting, whether it is to verify or not, is unknown to our law, and it cannot be introduced. And I believe that nobody has the right to deny anybody, any electorate, of his right to vote. And then there's something very funny in the distribution of PVCs. Lagos is 36%.
A massive voting state.
Yes.
Almost 6 million.
Imo is around 31%. But surprisingly, Adamawa, where there's insurgency, there is displaced people, 79%. What miracle? How did we achieve that feat? So there's a lot of...
Do you smell a rat?
Yes, I smell a very big rat, not even a small one, a big one. How come? How come Imo? There is no insurgency in Imo State. 31% PVCs distributed. There is no insurgency in Lagos. If there is any state where people are political conscious, it's Lagos State. Go and see the campaign in Lagos. They're going neck to neck. They're going bumper to bumper. And you are telling me that only 36% of the electorate in Lagos have collected their PVC. My wives contested for House of Representatives last time on ACN platform and on Social Democratic Mega Party, now Social Democratic Party platform in Rivers State, Port Harcourt constituency 1 and Bonny Degema constituency. Both of them, they've not been able to get their PVCs. And my other wife traveled She has traveled 5 times from Cotonou to search for her PVC. She knows where she registered. She registered in our country home, and it would have been easy for her to get her PVC. But she can't trace her PVC. There are many people with this story who cannot trace their PVCs. What is happening to these PVCs? And I think we smell a rat, and nobody has a right. Nobody has a right to come here and talk down on Nigeria that we should hold an election and defranchise 26 million people.
So you support it.
Alhaji, so you support the
Yes.
the shift in the election.
It's very simple. Let us go back to the temporary voters card. And
That is your way forward.
Yes, because nobody, not even a single person, should be denied the right to vote on that day for the excuse of INEC not able to give the PVC to the people. They collected our biodata. Excuse me.
Yes.
They collected our biodata when we voted. Our addresses, our fingerprints, everything were collected. The INEC should go out of its way to get the PVC to the houses of the people and submit it to them.
Okay, not staying at a place for them to come.
Yes, because everybody is voting at a unit nearest to
their houses.
their houses. So all the people that have PVC in a particular place, maybe a few people who had traveled, a few people who had been transferred, who had moved out, 90% of the PVCs in a polling unit will be close to that unit.
But this type of voting, that he's talking about, was always fraught with, malpractices. And so initially, the Morrissey who led INEC had come up with the idea of electronic voting. That was what facilitated this idea of, PVCs, because it's easier when you are going to do electronic voting, because you go there, you put a card reader, it reads it, and then the thing comes up, you tap it or something on it with your thumb. But now that electronic voting, is not going to take place as it were. So I don't know how you still see.
Both houses of the National Assembly rejected electronic voting. INEC, in the new electoral law, the one that is extinct now, that was sent to the National Assembly, INEC wanted e-voting, electronic voting, and both houses of the National Assembly rejected it. They make the law. INEC cannot be a law to itself. So the introduction of card readers is illegal. It is not known to our law, and it cannot be introduced in this election until the law says so.
Alhaji, you are bringing another dimension to this, because
because
INEC is going to use the card readers, we are going to use the PVCs, and with the elections, the postponement of the election, they are making sure that these things are done well. But let me ask you, you talked about the political enlightenment and enthusiasm in places like Lagos. I can also claim that Port Harcourt is in the same direction. Why won't patriotic Nigerians go out and get their PVCs? Why do they want to wait for INEC to go out of their way to give them their PVCs at home when they are doing this for themselves? Because when you vote, you elect your own preferred leader. And you're able to hold him accountable. Why are Nigerians not doing their civic duties?
It's very simple. I have given you an example of my wives who have traveled. My other wife is in school in Ibadan. Last week, she was in Port Harcourt looking for a PVC. She has examination, she has to go back to Ibadan. I buried my grandmother in December. For 11 days, they were at home. Every day they go to, because our unit is very close, to go to look. My wife was going to look for a PVC. She had traveled from Cotonou to Nigeria 5 times.
But there are some places where this PVC Nigerians are not picking them.
I don't know those who are not collecting their PVC. The one I know, that is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I have my PVC, but my 2 wives do not have their PVCs. And they want to have their PVC because they have made up their mind who to vote. And INEC does not have the right to deprive them of voting for who they want to vote. That is another way of election rigging.
Okay.